There we go again, bruh.
Say it ain't so.
Another episode. Table of Consequence, man. You know, we like to shout our sponsors out first, you know what I mean? Keep the lights on, bills paid. Shout out to Yo High Helping Hands. That Wars Bar. Yeah, that Wars Bar down 52nd Street. You can go wash your clothes, man. You out there West Philly. I need to get down there to wash them big blankets.
Yeah, we definitely got the machines for that.
Yeah, I need the big machine. You know what I mean? Wash them blankets.
Definitely got the big machines for the blanket.
Yeah, shout out to that Self-Preparatory Academy. You know what I mean? Get your kids over there, man. Taking enrollments now. Up Germantown area.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, this is a part of the podcast. I like to just take a little second before I introduce my sons and my nephew on the back of the mural. You know, so the viewers out there that, you know, might want to, you know, say a prayer or anything, you know, in reference to, you know, my sons, I would deeply and greatly appreciate it. You know, and to my left, I got my son, Gerald Stewart, who died in Philadelphia from gun violence at the age of 23. And right next to him, I got my nephew, Omar Vasquez, who died in Philadelphia from a car accident at the age of 23. And right next to him, I got my son, Mookman Jenkins, who died in Philadelphia at the age of 18 from gun violence as well. And right next to him, I got my other son, Montrell Stewart, who died in Philadelphia from gun violence at the age of 26. Table of Consequence, bruh.
Consequences.
The platform.
Definitely take a moment to reflect because, you know, death, man. Death is a constant reminder, man. You know what I mean? You know, we're not here, you know. We here by the blink of an eye. I mean, you look up. We 50 right now. We almost 50, bro.
Yeah.
That was just yesterday we was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn, teenagers.
Yeah. Facing consequences.
You know what I mean? You know what's deep though about the consequences, man? It was like we was being bred for it though. Like we was in training. Like all the stuff that we went through, we was being trained for it. You know what I mean? Coming up in the hood, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming up in the ghetto. Like they train your mind to go to prison. They train your mind to be shot. They train your mind to do some shooting. You know what I mean? And one of the last episodes we did, we was talking about it. And like some people learn from that. But for me, I really ain't learned from that. The breakthrough that really didn't happen with the consequences. I really didn't learn from consequences. The breakthrough for me didn't really happen until I looked at my children and said, would I want them to go through that shit? That's when the breakthrough happened. That's when shit just the light bulbs start going off and shit just start making sense. Like, oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? The breakthrough happened when I watched my little brother that I raised from a pup. When they put the handcuffs on him and took him through that back door to go do a 4-year bit. Like for me, that's when it was like, it wasn't even when they put the cuffs on me. It was like, oh, I was raised to have to go to the penitentiary. I was bred. Like they like the old head schooled me to be ready and how to, you know, move in them joints. And it's crazy because one of the first phone calls when I went to jail, when I called you from A from Race, and I was like, yeah, bro, you know what I mean? Yeah, they got me. You know what I mean? I gotta I'm gonna call you back when I, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go down up there, probably, you know what I mean, stab a nigga or two, you know what I'm saying, and get on that phone. And you was like, oh no, you gonna get on that phone. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I was down A for Race. And they give you that yellow joint. Should be like willful killing.
Yeah, say what they say on it. Yeah, definitely.
And but it's crazy how our minds was trained, and it didn't like the I really ain't have that no conscience for that shit until I started having to look at my kids and my little brother and stuff, and now it started being like, hold up, this ain't life. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you know, we got a guest on here, you know what I'm saying? They gave him a whole 20 piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
So with everybody, Ken-Roc Thompson, Coach Rock, father, Muslim, brother, struggling soul. Basically, trying to make the best thing out of it. Trying to make the best out of my life, man, and impact others in a positive way as best as I could possibly can.
Right.
So that's pretty much how I introduce myself.
For sure, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about how, you know, who you see yourself as. You know what I'm saying? Because we can get on here and we can, you know what I'm saying, hype it up and all that, you know, the bells and the whistles, but it's all about how you feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And where you was raised? Tell them
North
for the
Philly,
viewers.
Strawberry Mansion, all the way from 29th and Lehigh, where my mom was from, all the way to now 32nd and Cumberland, where my father from. So I pretty much frequent those areas, 32nd and Cumberland, 30th and Hunterdon, all the way up to 29th and Lehigh.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my incubator right there.
Right.
29th and Lehigh, 32nd and Cumberland. Those little blocks.
You basically in the heart of that shit.
Yeah, little blocks and alleyways.
Right, the little blocks and alleyways.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That's like a section they call it though.
Strawberry Mansion. Yeah,
section.
Strawberry Mansion section. We actually used to live up Nightstown too though.
Yeah.
My papa had a crib on 16th and Winker-Hocking. We used to walk up there. I don't know if y'all remember that, John. Used to be a boat out there. A lot of people remember seeing the boat. Used to be a boat right there on 16th Street.
On 16th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On 16 and
Yeah,
Winter
yeah. That was my pop boat.
Yeah.
We used to walk up there when my pop separated, but
Right.
yeah.
What,
But
what was your pop name?
Billy Thompson.
Billy Thompson.
Basically, like my pop, you know, he owned property. My grandpa owned property. So my grandpa was like one of the first black owners in Strawberry Mansion, business owners, real estate and all that. Like a lot of that stuff, like it just been in my family since my grandpa.
Right.
So my grandpa had like 30 properties, and my pop
That's a
took
bankroll.
over. Yeah, I mean, the first property he grabbed was 1968.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he came back up from Georgia, and he was a boxer down there. Came up, then see a lot of people like the whole Strawberry Mansion was like pertaining. That was a Jewish neighborhood.
The whole Philly was.
Yeah.
It's like that down Nicetown.
Yeah.
All the Jews had the blocks.
And that White Flight took on, and they had like some type of program where they had to sell the minorities or whatever the case may be. And my grandpa, like he was on the newspaper and all that as one of the first, and he grabbed the store on 32nd and Cumberland. So pretty much me and my brother and all that grew up in that store, you know what I mean? And pretty much that's like where we got introduced to everything at. Right there in that store.
What, 32nd and?
32nd and Cumberland.
32nd and Cumberland. Yeah. Right. I'm trying to put my.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah, man, let's get into the nitty gritty though, man. Yeah. Like, let's talk about, you know what I mean, pretty much you did 20 years in prison.
Yeah, 20-year sentence.
20 years. How long you did?
I did 16 on the 20. Yeah.
You did 20 years.
Yeah, I did a dub, but you know.
I get it. No, you did 16 years.
Yeah, I did 16 on the dub.
How do that, like, so you got out early?
Yeah.
And what was that based on? Like,
so basically, when you get a dub, and I was in the feds, so a dub with good time is really like 17 and a half.
Okay.
So that's like people get a misconstrued. You do 9 months, it's really like 17 and a half that you're doing the dub. Then what I did was I took the drug program. The drug program threw you to the halfway house a year early. So I did the 16 and a half. And then when Trump passed the first step, that took those 6 months off me.
Okay.
So I wound up doing 16 on that 20. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, so when I went to trial in the feds, I basically was facing up to like 35 in the feds. By me going to trial, I had wound up beating a 924C, which is like a gap with a furthers of drugs, like anything up in it, shooting it, whatever, that's a 924C. And then I beat a 922G, which is the convicted felon. So those two joints right there, while I got found guilty of those, they would have shot me up to like 35 years in prison. So I got 20, and like at that time, like, you know, I was like, you know, heavy on blessings. Like I identified blessings everywhere I went. And that blessing was so hard, so like heavy for me that I just, you know, I moved off that blessing with
That's all that.
Yeah, the remainder of my bid.
Yeah, right. For sure, because wasn't too many people getting that blessing. A lot of brothers was losing those particular 2 charges and was getting a 35-year sentence for definitely convicted felons at that time.
Yeah.
And they ain't got no problem giving it to you.
Not at all.
No problem.
And those charges, like, if I got found guilty of those charges, I wouldn't be here now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I always, too, like, even with that, like, I go back to, like, I got a big thing I argue about, too. Like, I want to push. Like, blacks, you know when they call you for jury duty? Blacks don't never want to do jury duty. You feel what I'm saying? But it was like a black lady in there that I knew that fought for me.
Right.
That was on that trial. Like when I beat those cases, she looked at me, shook her head. And that showed me like, damn, that was the one that was fighting for me. So that's why we need like our people to sit on them juries.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But we so quick to be like.
Because what it is what our people don't understand is, okay, hold us accountable, but don't hold us accountable to the point where as though allowing the government to overcharge us.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They overcharge us. And then our people will be like, man, I know he guilty, or them other people gonna say, I know he guilty.
Yeah.
But not understanding that, okay, I'm guilty, but I'm guilty for the lesser.
Yeah.
Not the greater of them overcharging me.
Yeah.
And our people need to understand that part. Because they be thinking we just want to get off. Like, if you in that space, you just want to get off. Okay, cool, I want to beat it. But if I can't beat it, hold me accountable for what I done. Not because they was slick. And they played.
They
to your
add
ignorance.
charges.
They add charges to the crime.
Yeah.
All day long. Definitely.
Yeah, they gonna add charges.
Because like if they find the gun upstairs in a Wawa,
yeah,
if they could just say it was downstairs in the basement,
they gonna do that.
They gonna do that because they know that charge gonna be a little harder for you to beat.
It's crazy, right? Because you say that. So one of the reasons why I beat it, so without the jigs, but it don't matter if we do or not, but we didn't. So when they when I was the guns or whatever, so they was trying to attach the guns to me and my co-defendant or whatever. So they bought this boy, like he could come in this, he could be my man. Like not, I wouldn't even know. You feel what I'm saying?
That's how they do.
I seen him one day in trial. That's it. But he came and said he sold us the guns for drugs. You feel what I'm saying? But it was Joe Santa Guida at the time, and he played him out of the joint. They was trying to prove that I was driving a blue truck through the whole trial. So when he was like, yeah, I wanted to buy his car. So the dude was like, so Joe was like, you talking about the big green car with the rims? And dude like, yeah. And the jury knew right there he was lying.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But it just show you like they would do any and everything.
And they will do anything.
Yeah, they have done
Right.
any and everything
Right.
to book and will you win. You know what I mean? It's a vicious game, man. And really, you know, we sign up for the action. You know what I mean?
For sure.
We sign up for it every day.
Right,
So,
for sure.
you know what I mean?
Damn, you did a dub 16. Yeah. Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Prior to you getting sentenced to that,
Yeah.
well, you was a convicted felon?
Yeah, I was a convicted felon. Yeah.
You did time before?
I did county biz before. I had attempted to live. I did like 11 half to 23 on it.
Okay.
And that was my conviction. And that conviction actually turned my mandatory minimum for the work that I had, even though it was a lot of work, the mandatory minimum was only 10 years.
Right.
Because it was soft work. So that mandatory minimum went from 10 to 20 only because I had a prior conviction.
Right.
And that prior conviction, I did 9 months in the county for.
Right.
So they wound up double jeopardying me with me and giving me an extra dime for it in the feds.
Wow.
Because it's called the 851, prior conviction. Like these Jones.
But these the Jones that, here's the thing, these are when we be pleading guilty to them cases and they be like, yeah, I got probation for that John. I came up. No.
They lining you up.
They lining you up. Because they know you're going to go back and do something else.
Yeah.
And then they going, you know what I mean? Yeah, they giving
you a sample.
Right, they give you a sample.
Give you a sample because 9 out of 10 you coming right back.
They know, their whole logic is, if you come back, we got you. If you don't, you got away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still gonna walk this little time off on
You
probation.
still gonna walk this little
Yeah,
time
the
off.
PO gonna make some money off
Right.
you. She gonna have a
Right.
salary. But 9 out of 10, you gonna come back and we gonna wham you then.
So that one conviction enhanced that sentence.
Y'all gave me from 10 to 20. And not only 10 to 20, but I got 20 years and 10 years supervised release. I'm walking off 10 years paper right now.
Wow.
Okay.
So that doubled my joint. So it went from 10 and 5 to 20 and 10.
Yeah.
So when you got locked up, right?
Yeah.
Like where was you at? Like
FDC?
no, I'm talking about like just when they picked you up from the street. Like where was
I
you
turned
at?
myself in.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah, I turned myself in. So I was on the run for a minute. I was in New York or whatever. But they was hitting my crib. They was hitting my mom crib, grandma crib. I remember like
They put that pressure on our folks.
Yeah, and I remember like my mom like calling me like it was my mom, my dad. They called me like 2 a.m. from a payphone, and just like you can just turn yourself in. You feel what I'm saying? Like reminding me of my son, reminding me of all these things, and I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did it like, and I was just like I was young as shit, bro.
Right.
I was 23 years old. And it was like, it was all this, if I felt pressure, that was pressure. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
the on the run pressure
Yeah.
different. They get you skinny.
yeah, and yeah.
No, it gets
On the
you
run,
skinny. I was used
then-
to
On a run diet.
being
Yeah.
skinny on the run.
And the magnitude of the case, cause you on the
Right.
run from niggas too.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause you want like, you put in the paper as if you something that you really not. So at the end of the day, we know this joint out here, especially in 06.
Right.
This joint was
So
dog
what,
eat dog.
how they grease you up? Like what they say about you?
My joint in the paper. So I got, and it was 61 kilos physical work.
61 bricks.
61 bricks physical work.
That's for the
Yeah. 61 bricks physical work, $176,000 in physical cash. Basically, then when they what they did was in the newspaper, they multiply all that. You know, they break all that down to the, like you out there selling, you know, trays.
Right.
I mean, your trays.
Right.
So they turned that into $6 million. So when they put me in the paper, they put me on the paper as owner of a $6 million drug stash.
Right.
I'm 23 years old, man. You know what I mean? Niggas getting out this, they getting killed for $300-$400 at the time. So at the end of the day, it's like not only are you on the run from the feds and everything else, but you also got to worry about niggas thinking you got something that you really don't got. And at that time, niggas snatch your kid, your mom, your sister, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So the pressure on me at that time was like honestly, I was on the tip like I had thoughts about like just going back and shooting it with the law and just dying and all that, because that's where I was as a person. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all know, like,
Right.
you be depleted as a person. Like, you really feel like you supposed to die out this joint.
Depleted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's where I was at. Like, I was on the tip, like, fuck it. And
So-
really, even the turning was a fuck it.
So let me ask you this. though.
Yeah.
They found the bricks with the money all in the same place.
Same place. Yeah. One part, different parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
So imagine.
Somebody told on you.
No, so what happened was, like, I said another John, like, a nigga tried to snatch my folks. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody had tried to snatch him. Was right there, whatever. I start chopping, boom. Everything dispersed. Everybody, you know, move away, side free. But that brought the law up there. When the law went up there, the law wound up running in the crib. And when they ran in the crib, it was 3 joints on the table. That gave them the probable cause to hit the rest of the house.
Yeah.
So when they hit the rest of the house, they found everything in the house. In the house, I had my fingerprints on the heat sealer
Dang.
scale, and it was like in my
Long
folks'
Crest?
name and all that. Oxford Circle.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what happened. So that's what put them on the crib. So once they get that, and then they starting to put all their stuff together. It's not a case. The feds start doing investigating and everything, and then within a week or so, that's when the warrants and all that start popping out. And my Cody had got hit on the scene, so he was already booked.
Right.
So that's how, you know what I mean, blew up. And then, even when it happened that night, it was like, you know how it is in the city, like, yo, you heard what happened? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right.
But nobody could put a face to the trace. You feel me?
For sure.
And then when my face jumped in the paper on it, it was like, you know what I mean? It was wild.
Right.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So when you turned yourself in, how long you was out on the run for?
Like 3 weeks or
3
something
weeks?
like that. Yeah.
Did you in them 3 weeks? What type of sleep was you getting?
Oh nah, no sleep. It was no sleep. It was pretty much paranoia. You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, paranoia. Riding around, like somebody rides you on the back of the seat. You know what I mean? You ain't even sitting in the car. You laying on back seats.
Right.
Paranoia, man. Like I remember being out in New York and looking at day papers and stuff. Like I just couldn't nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I couldn't nothing. It was just like, you know what I mean? It was just, and then at the same time, it was just, like I said, like I understood the blessing in it too, cause I feel like the best thing that could have happened did happen.
Right.
Cause we know, like I'd have been dead. My Cody would have been dead. More than that would have been dead. You know what I'm saying? So the little things that happened to lead up to that space, I can now look back on
Right.
and reflect on and know that, damn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had me and got me, inshallah. You feel me?
Right.
But it's like, at that time, I'm like, I'm like 135 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid. You understand what I'm saying? For real. So, I mean.
I asked you like to break it down and kind of like that.
Yeah.
So like the viewers
Yeah.
can walk with us while we, you know what I'm saying, while we talking about it. You know what I'm saying? That you turned yourself in, you came back to Philly and did it?
I came back to Philly, yeah. So basically, you pry for the joint. I'll come in on Monday or whatever the case may be. So I remember going in there, Edward Reef turned me in. And he died. He was a lawyer. He was a good lawyer. And when he turned me in, I remember going to they turned me in a Red Lion Road, John. So when I remember walking in the John, so when I walked in, I had the Air Force cut out. I had the Xannies in the John, so you could go to sleep in the. So I wanted to go to sleep in the district. That's the worst part of being booked in that district. You in that John for 12 hours. It feel like 3 weeks. So I'm like, I'm gonna sleep the district out. This, that, and the third. So I had the Xannies and Newport and all that in my drink. And I remember going in, and the feds and all that, and the detectives in there, they was running around like, we got him. And I remember going in the room. They called me in the room, and he was like, "What you know?" I'm like, "I don't know nothing." And he like, you ain't never coming home, right? I was like, I kind of already figured that. And then he was like, man, get him out of here. That was the last time I ever seen the FBI agent.
Right.
Never seen him again, as far as on a one-on-one tip.
Right.
Never been proffered, none of that.
Right.
It was right there. Send me back in the joint, pop my joints. I made it conscious. Don't pop them until you hear too many stories. Thinking he was high, he signed the joint. Like, that ain't gonna be me. Right. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till that. Boom. I did that, popped my joints with sleep. I remember going to the Bell joint high though. And the Bell joint, I think that Bell was like 75 million or something crazy. And boom, I was high then, woke up, took me to CFCF, and I was there.
Right.
I mean, I was behind the walls for the next 16 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: did they like in your fight? Did they offer you like any type of deals or anything?
Yeah, so when deals come through your lawyers, so I could have got a pound if I would have, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the lawyer like, look, I know you woo, you don't want to hear it, but it's cool, don't even worry about it.
Right.
So that was the joint. My deal without that was 25.
Right.
So I could have pled to 25 years. I wasn't playing the 25 years. That's what really pushed me to go to trial.
Right.
I was only 24 years old at this time.
Right.
25 years, I didn't know
49, right.
I don't know what it looked like.
Right.
I'm 24. I don't even know what 25 look like.
Y'all gonna have to give me 25.
Yeah, y'all gotta give me
give me
25.
that,
Yeah. So we all went to trial. Me and my co-defendants, we went to trial. And like I said, I wound up coming out there, and they wound up coming out. My one co-defendant beat everything in the house. He got found guilty to the ones that was on the table. He had got 9 years, and my co-defendant house it was in, Like she cried the entire trial, and she wound up getting managed. She wound up getting managed in the house for drug trafficking, beat the conspiracy, and wound up getting like 36 months. So she got 36 months, he got 9 years, and I got 20. And I look at it as it was a win. You feel what I'm saying? Because joints like that, they usually bringing in 30, 40 of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then get another 20 on top of that. So I feel like they did look at it as if it was a loss. You know what I'm saying?
And what do you mean by 30? He's talking about 30, 40 people, right?
Yeah.
And then supersede indictment on top of that, bringing another 20 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's also the other game that they play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people gonna start cooperating and tell on other people, and then bring other people, and you know how it go when about stuff. You know they gonna tell that your mom cook somebody dinner on this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then your mom in there.
You're right. They're gonna bring your mom in for cooking.
Yeah,
keeping
cooking the
everything
dinner.
together.
Yeah,
right.
managing
You know
the
what I'm
house.
saying? Right.
All the type of things like that. So
the games they play, and us, the people in the community and the people that decide to play that game, really not educated on the other side of it.
Yeah.
They just be thinking about the money.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. They don't really have an understanding of the laws and the stuff that's set in place to really roof us. And I was sitting in on a federal trial, and this is when, and somebody thought I was lying when I said it, or they thought I was miseducated, right?
Yeah.
I told them if I would have had a key to that house that where them 61 joints in, I didn't even have to know they was in there. I was still considered in possession of them.
Yeah, control.
That's a federal law.
Yeah, you got control and dominion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's people like when I was telling people that I was set on this case, and I'm like, yo, that's law.
It's called constructive possession.
Right. So
Yeah.
like my man, the guy had already pled guilty
Yeah.
to the gun.
Yeah.
Somebody took the case in state, said it's mine. The house in his name and everything. They run the big fish. He had a key to the crib. They pulled him over, took his keys, went back, opened the door, got him, charged him for that same gun, and convicted him for it.
Yeah, he got control and dominion.
When somebody already said, no, that's me.
Yeah. But somebody somewhere down the line was saying that he controlled him.
Right.
Yeah, that's where people come in at. That's where somebody said somebody's willing to testify that he controlled him. And even though he's saying it's his gun, he is the boss. He got the control and dominion.
Right.
And that's called constructive possession. So you ain't even got to be there. Yeah.
So I said all that to say this.
Yeah.
For the youngins that don't really understand that, when you be hiding all them guns in your mom crib,
they yours.
you know they can book your mom for them joints too.
And
book you, your mom, your sisters, your cousins, whoever got possession of the, that crib, got that key running in and out there, that lit there. They responsible for that, even if they don't know what's in there.
Yeah. And I was the same way. I didn't know either.
Right.
You think you stashing it all, it's over. You feel what I'm saying? Nah. They got all type. My co-defendants beat conspiracy. We think of conspiracy is like 2 or more people. So since they beat it, I got conspiracy to the unknown.
Dang.
So they just said, no, the drug amount was so big that it was a conspiracy going on somewhere. And we know you had something to do with it. And other people had something.
Damn, to the unknown.
They just don't know.
Look how tricky that is.
That's what they do. They got these
Conspiracy
joints.
to the unknown.
Conspiracy to the unknown. Constructive possession. They got all these joints like
to the unknown.
Yeah. Because they got a certain amount where they hit where it had to be.
They saying you gotta have people running with you.
Yeah.
You just ain't give them up.
Yeah.
So we hit you with the conspiracy for the unknown. That's
Exactly.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I had.
But it's good that you know what I mean, like you put that out there because people need to know. And if they want to know farther, they just gotta go do their own research on it. But they still need to know that like charges and stuff like that exists. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you talk to a lot of these cats and they be thinking like you ignorant and you don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, they learning that joint through a movie.
Yeah, they looking at a movie. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's vicious, man.
So let me ask you this. So let's get into the culture shock, right?
Yeah.
Did you get they sentenced you to that, right?
Sends me to the 20, yeah.
And how fast did you go on? What was your first stop?
My first stop was
When you went to the
Raybrook.
feds?
Yeah, so I was at FDC. I got my 20, and I had asked the judge for Farrington. I'm thinking I'm going to Farrington. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Farrington. Shit, about that 45 minutes away. I got a girl at the time. I'm thinking she loved me. And then
She ain't love you?
She probably loved me. Right. But love get tested. You know what I mean?
But time,
yeah.
Love get tested,
she ride.
Right?
I mean, at the time, she did the best she could.
She did the best she could,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm only saying so they can understand that.
Yeah. She did the best she
could. Love you, but she got some other plans too. You know, she want to live her life.
I used to say if I ain't had to wake up and do this shit every day, I wouldn't even.
Right,
you know what I mean? So, but my first job was Raybrook, New York. 9 hours from Philly, 15 minutes from Canada. That was my first stop.
Cold as shit.
Yeah, it was cold. Snow up here. You know what I mean? I was up there with Spud, Salone, Marche. I was up there with some real good dudes. They like broke me into the
Southwest Philly boy.
Yeah, Salone from Southwest.
Salone.
Spud from North. Yeah.
Salone, from Southwest,
And Marche from West.
Marche, yeah.
Yeah, they the ones that broke me in. Malik from Brooklyn Street.
Dark
He had
skin
35.
Marche,
Dark skin
That's
Marche.
our guy, D La Salle.
Yeah.
We went to D.
We all went to D La Salle together. Yeah,
that's
He out
my
here
guy.
now.
Yeah, he out here.
I gotta see one. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's swinging. Yeah, he's swinging, titting up. Yeah.
Somebody just
That was
told
my
me
Sally.
You got a number on him?
Yeah, I got a number.
Somebody
on him.
just like, he out here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him a
Yeah.
joint.
That was my first Sally. You know what I mean? I owe a lot, like even who I am today to him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they raised me in that joint. Like I was 23, I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And things could have took any ways in them joints. So like him, Tariq, Spud, Salone, Malik from Brooklyn Street. Like I owe a lot to them as just, you know what I mean, human as a man. You know what I mean?
Right,
them niggas taught me how to do a pull up and a dip. I ain't know how to do no pull up and no dip.
Yeah.
They used to just sit me on the dip bars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
make you work it out.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So that's my first spot, Raybrook, New York. I was there for 2.5 years. Then I went to Islandwood. I was at Islandwood, Pennsylvania. I was there for 3 years. Then we had crashed there. Rumbling Muslims. Right. You know how that junk go. Yeah, we crashed out with the Mexicans there.
Right.
And they sent me to McKean. That's in
PA, right?
PA, yeah. That's when me and Pook was at. Yeah. It was at McKean. I was there for 5 years. I was at McKean for 5 years. And then I went from there and I went to Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went from Pennsylvania to
Mississippi. Yeah. I came home from
4
Mississippi.
stops in PA first. And then went to Mississippi.
Let me ask you, where was you at when I met you? Because I met you on Instagram. You know what I mean? I start seeing, I see somebody posting something. You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't no hater. I'm, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like what you was posting. I start following you.
Yeah.
And I seen you was booked.
I was at Yazoo.
Right.
See, when you think about Yazoo, what you think about from the rip?
Like a jungle.
Yeah. It was love.
It was love.
Like I first, when I went down, I'm like, Yazoo, Mississippi, you know? Like, 'cause I always think they got to play for me.
Right.
I'm like, damn, Mississippi, though. But when I went down there, man, it was love. Like, that was like a blessing. It was the 98% staff black. Don't really care. Like, go ahead. If you get booked with a phone there, you got yourself booked. You know what I mean? They ain't really on nothing. Only thing is, they ain't really doing no work. You know what I mean? You need some paperwork pushed or whatever. You ain't got nothing coming. But far as like the love down there, and it just opened your eyes or opened my eyes up to this like different people, different cultures, just different languages, different slang, different everything. It wasn't, when I was in PA in New York, it was like Philly. Down there, it was only like 3 of us. So it was like New Orleans, Alabama. I remember the first time I met a nigga from Alabama, it was like niggas from Mars or something. I'm Anderson, Alabama. I'm like, dang. You know what I mean? But I wound up like one of some of my best friends now to this day from Alabama, New Orleans.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mississippi, Florida. I mean, I'm like,
good
damn.
Dudes.
Yeah, good dudes. And it showed we all over the world or all over this country doing the same shit, getting the same time, killing each other, just like,
right.
Like, dang, we just in a bad space.
In
You know
a
what I'm
bad
saying?
space, you know what I mean? Because culturally, like each ghetto is really breeding the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same school of thought. Just you just talk with an accent. That's it.
And they heavy on gang activity. It's like I noticed too though, like Philly, New Orleans, and DC was the only spaces I seen that it's not like heavily influenced on gang culture. But it's the same mentality. It's just that they repping flags or colors or whatever
Right.
the case may be.
Right.
But like the country is saturated or, you know, gangs is like
Let me
big.
ask you this: in your 16 and some change,
Yeah.
I mean, was you able to get some? You know what I'm saying? Some,
No, I didn't.
No.
I take that to my fault though.
Right.
I could have, man. I still got that problem. Like, don't shoot my shots,
You
man.
shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, I be drawn. Like, I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, I had a couple opportunities, especially in the early going with the paper and all that.
Right.
They you know, they thinking, you know, well, I just, no, I ain't do it, man. I ain't get no yam.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
cool. It is what it is.
Yeah, I ain't get no yam. It's like Nas, I always say, like, I got no game. We just some bitches understand my story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I ain't got no
I mean,
game.
your swag speak for itself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sometimes, but I don't be.
You know what's so crazy? Like I'm hearing your story.
Yeah.
You know, you start thinking back to the beginning, like the first time you even got involved in anything that led up to the seriousness of the case and the seriousness of you having to go do 16 years. In the beginning, you weren't thinking like it was gonna get this serious. It was, you know what I mean? Like you was gonna be on a run, you know what I mean? Really like fighting for your life and all that. And a lot of the younger generation don't realize that. Like you get in it in the beginning. For me, I remember when I first started hustling, it wasn't like, it was just like it was something to do. You know what I mean? I might maybe get, you know, fly, maybe some sneaks or try to get a car. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking at the longevity of, you know, it could get this serious. You know what I'm saying? And what was your mindset like when you first started hustling? You know what I'm saying?
I could go back to a day, bro. And like even like hearing your name, like your name, you know what I mean? You got a name, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I remember the day when me and my cousin Booty, man, he doing life right now. I could go to us telling ourselves that we not gonna hustle to the day when we decided we would hustle. And that day we was sitting on the steps of 29th and Lehigh, and Champ had a cookout on 29th and Chalmers, man. And these Benzes came through, these Jones just coming through, man. It was just so many. It was like everything that you could see in the movie was right there in front of our face. And then it was like all these stories we used to hear, like sitting at that Chinese store. You know what I mean? Like all the legends and all these things. It was like it became like a fairy tale, like Cinderella and her shoes. Like me and him, we wanted to get 2 cherry red Cherokees. That was our goal. You feel what I'm saying? And we started hustling. And life took it in where it was, you know what I mean? And it turned it from a, like when Meek say dreams and nightmares, that's what it is. Like, it's like we in our hood, it's like vision, it's like a real live vision board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you seeing it like, damn, boom. And you know, back then, 96, 97, it was like Benzes and all that, like they was here. Like Delta 88s was like Benzes and Jeeps and all that. And then my brother had got killed in 97. And when my brother had got killed in 97, I just ain't know what to do with
Older brother?
My older brother. He was 4 years older than me.
How old are you now?
I'm 42.
42.
I was 15. He was 19.
He was 19, right.
He got killed. He was hustling and all that. You know, things happened. And he got killed. And when he got killed, it was like, I mean, like y'all know how it is to be brothers. Like, I feel like a lot of my life was about looking for another older brother. You feel what I'm saying? But not knowing that now I know. Like you never gonna find that.
Right.
It's impossible. Like a brother is a brother.
Right.
Especially if he's thorough. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you all right, you got a thorough brother. And I never found that again. But I realized that's what was empty in me.
Yeah, you was yawning for that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Were you able to, like for me, I always looked for like a pop, but I wasn't able to identify it. And were you able to identify that that's what you was looking for? Like,
when I look back on it,
Yeah.
I identified because
When you was living it, you didn't.
I
You
didn't,
understand it.
but I felt it.
Okay.
Like my Cody at that time, that he was my brother.
Right.
I felt the same way about him. Not the same, but those same inclinations, those same like pulls
Right.
towards me. I would have did any and everything for him. And I did, dude. I went max for him. You know what I'm saying? And I would have done all that because that's the love I had for him.
Right.
And that love really, it was about him. But now that I understood it, it was really too about my brother.
Right.
Because he was fulfilling that void. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably would have if I was there with my brother, like, ain't no telling, I would probably have been there. I was like, you know what I mean? He was my president. I'd have done anything for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now when I look back, like, yo, that's what I was yearning. My brother, that was my everything.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn. So
Yeah.
now that you got that out, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What point inside inside your bit that you realize, man, I'm gonna go home and do something different?
All right. I was listening to Buzz when we was talking earlier, when you was talking earlier about like that one inclination, like it's not about you, it's about others. I left my sons, man. I got 3 sons, you know what I mean? And I almost, like, even that night, like my son could have got killed that night. My son was with me. You feel what I'm saying? And like just me and knowing I had my dad, I know what a dad is.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? And for me to leave my son without that,
Right.
in that same neighborhood, like, it was just like, yo, I gotta be better. Even if I'm gonna be in here,
Right.
I gotta be a father in prison. You feel what I'm saying? And I can't go on and be like, yo, you did your homework, you did this, and I ain't read a book. You know what I mean? Like, it's like integrity at the end of the day. Like, I can't be like, yo, don't hang out with him and don't do this in the third if I'm on the yard getting high and ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I start taking on the responsibility of being an incarcerated father. And this is something that Marche actually helped me do. Marche, bro, he used to write his kids like 3 to 4 page letters. He used to take like a week to do that shit. And I'd be like, damn, this nigga. He be writing a letter for...
That's different.
Yeah, like he write his kids. And I'm like, and that challenged me. Like, yo, I ain't no way. Like, and Marche had a quarter.
Right, he had a quarter.
Yeah, he had a quarter. And he
I
was
heard
older.
about that, right.
You feel me? So that is just like being around men. You know what I mean? Like, that was doing their best to take on the responsibility as men.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that's what did it. And that's like, I remember one time I went to the hole when I was in Iowa. I crashed and I started reading books. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just the books within itself too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that Tukey Williams book was heavy for me.
Right.
Malcolm X was heavy for me. Asada was heavy for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was like Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. It was heavy for me. So by me being in the hole and me reading those books, it like shifted my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, you could do anything, man. Don't go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you overqualified. You like,
When you got out, you had a plan, or you just...
yeah, I had a plan. Yeah. I had a plan.
That's
yeah,
what's up.
yeah.
What's your plan was?
It kind of shift. I mean, my plan was,
Gold the same.
yeah, the goal the
plan
same, but
changed.
my plan was I had the Instagram books and all that, 100,000 followers. You know what I mean? Social media, all that. But I think my plan was always derogatories around me going back to my hood and impacting it in a positive way.
That's hot.
You know what I mean? Regardless on whatever that case is, I found out that's the fluff. You know what I mean? It's like even with the work, like the chain and all that is after the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like this the work. The work is like working on myself.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a good job of this. Like whatever environment I'm in, whether it's a work environment or whatever, I've been doing a good job of changing that to my mindset and my vision, like whatever spaces I've been in.
Right.
So that's been like a blessing. Like I see, I was at Target doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
You worked at Target.
Yeah, I worked at Target. I started off at Target.
What's your first job?
My
So the
first
viewers-
job was at Baker Industries, $9 an hour.
$9 an hour.
Yeah,
And
$9
what was
an
you doing?
hour. Like factory joint, right in the corner from the halfway house.
Right.
So I took that joint. You need a job to get out the halfway house, but I wanted to go to school. So I'm like, I need something to go to school. So they had that joint. So I took it. $9 an hour, 4 hours a day, $100 a week. I was in the halfway house. I did that for like a month. Then I did a temp agency job. Hoop cookies. I made like $13 an hour. I did that for like 2 months. Then I went to Target. Target was like $19 an hour. I went in there ankle monitor on my joint. I was a trainer in 6 weeks. Went to school, took the job, became human resource specialist in 5 months. Then they was shipping me out to Chicago to be a training specialist to open up a brand new facility. Then the network had pushed back on it. It's understandable. I was only home like 7 months after 16 years. They talking about opening up a brand new multi-million-dollar facility. You feel me? As a training specialist. So they pushed back, but it had left a sour taste in my mouth. And I left. I went to CareerLink. And I went to CareerLink. I did reentry for CareerLink. And then that's when I started working for the councilwoman, Cindy Bass. I went there as a constituent service rep. Then I got moved over to alternative violence strategist. And now I just got a promotion the other day as I'm director of community outreach.
That's dope.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's what you got going on right now.
Right now.
I was going to ask you that. What you doing?
It's dope because, you know, when you start working for the councilwoman, you know, well, before I had got the call.
Yeah.
I had got the call and somebody had asked me what I think and you know, I'm gonna tell you, I'm always gonna tell the people what I think. And I told them like I think it was a great choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to commend you on that. I want to thank you. Like when I did it, you one of the first people that called me,
right?
And told me exactly what you said and that you wish the best, right? But it was one thing though that I remember when I was in the story and we was like it was like a news joint or something. And I was just there or whatever. And Bus hit me in the joint. He said, man, you in the back now. Before you know it, you're going to be in the front.
That's lit.
And I remember that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
And I'm on my way up there, bro.
For sure.
Like pushing ball. You feel me?
That's hot.
Yeah.
Like some people you could just see it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see it in, man. You know? Yeah. I see it in you. You know what I'm saying? And you got the credentials that match. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like our story is really that's really our bread and butter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What we've been through in life, that's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes people try to run away from what they've been through, but that's the goal.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That's
showing the diversity.
Right. Yeah. That's the experience. You know what I mean? Like I was telling bro one time, he was asking me, well, if I ain't had no record, what would I do different? I told him I probably would have went all the way with an education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd have went just as far as the education could, you know what I mean, process.
That's a great question, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that's a great question, man. I think that to put that out, I think I'd have went to the Navy or something, man.
Right.
I'd have traveled the world on their dime, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Down, right.
Yeah, I probably would have went to the
Funny
Navy.
you
My
say
son
that.
about to go.
That's what I was ready to
Yeah.
say.
He's going to the Air Force.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That you say that. One of the initiatives I'm trying to work on now, not trying, but in the process of working on, it's like reinventing that opportunity for our young boys, man. Like that's an opportunity. Like the military, we put these stigmas on stuff that's good for us.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people going to, like I never seen nobody, me personally, that went and they not doing all right with themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it don't mean like you gotta go, but like at least know that's an opportunity. The Air Force an opportunity.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And like your son going, like a lot of kids could go to the Air Force,
For sure.
to the Navy, to the military, and like just travel the world and figure out what you want to do out there. And I don't want to hear they getting killed because shit.
Right.
It don't even
Stand a
make no
chance.
sense.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that statement don't make no sense.
Right. And a lot of parents, a lot of ignorant parents, that's the first thing they're gonna say. I don't want to lose my baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you it's okay for your baby to run up and down the block, hang with JoJo and TomTom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guns in and out your crib.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Taking
like,
all type of drugs is killing them
stand,
anyway.
You stand a greater risk getting put down here than you do.
Yeah, over there.
You're right.
At least they trained to hit.
Right.
They ain't even trained out here. Right. So that's something that I've been working on, man. Because when I was at Glen Mills, I was supposed to go home and go to the Navy. I went home and went to the block.
Yeah.
That was my joint. I had the recruiters, all that. I was gonna be a CB. They do construction building, like build the bridges and all that.
And you skipped that part.
Yeah, I was at Glen Mills.
Yeah, I was trying to get to that part. I asked you, did you do any bit? Like,
Yeah, I did the Mills. Yeah, I did 19 months of the Mills.
Right. That's the, that prepares for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
from that small decision, you
Right.
ain't make the right decision.
Right.
Yeah.
So that Glen Mills help you deal with doing that 9 months, that year.
Yeah, Glen Mills was a part of the process.
It was a part of the process.
Yeah,
right?
like all the dudes I looked up to, I seen them all with their bag. When I got my bag, I was on the right ride.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's like, yeah, Glen Mills. I remember they came and interviewed me. I told them, I said, Fires. You know what they told me? They said, you're going to regret saying, because I knew the game that if you tell them that, they can't take
They can't take it.
And I was big on, I don't want no man punching on me for no reason.
Yeah.
Up there, they was hitting on kids.
They was hitting on you.
Yeah,
All the juvenile Jones though.
Yeah.
Right.
They was punching on you.
Yeah.
Slamming you on your head, all types. You know what I mean?
Punching on you.
I think what it was for me, I just felt like I wasn't equipped to manipulate them like I could do it in them other places that I went to. Like I could manipulate my way through them other places.
Yeah, the Mill, and you a big boy, they'd have been on your top.
But
They'd
Glen
hit you from
Mills,
the
there
rip.
ain't a whole bunch of manipulating. Like
One thing about the Mills, when you got a certain stature, they hit you too. You from the rip. You got a certain stature, they go automatically.
They want to break you.
Yeah, they gonna automatically. Me, I slide right through.
Right.
I'm little. I ain't a threat to nobody.
Right,
You feel what I'm
right,
saying? I ain't never get touched.
Right.
I seen a nigga touch my first night though, and they were like, "Yo, this joint real."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Touching,
Yeah, man. I wasn't with that.
The Mills though, I give it a lot of credit though, because before the Mills, I was like popping Xannies and all that, like dealing with the death of my brother. Like, but when I left the Mills, like a lot of the dudes that I was with before the Mills, they was just done.
Right.
It was Xanny Dowd. They was already catching homies. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much missed that wave within those 19 months. So I like even niggas be suing the Mills. I ain't suing them. Yeah. I'm cool. They ain't do nothing to me.
They ain't gonna get no money nowhere.
Yeah,
man.
They just
They gonna be waiting on it.
Yeah.
No, the lawyers gonna get all the money.
Yeah. In a big suit like that. Yeah, but I ain't
lawyers
even
get
put
all
my
the
name
bread. You know what I mean? They gonna send them a $36 check. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Lawyers get all the bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's the Mills, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so now you work for the councilwoman right now, Cindy Bass.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm gonna say this. As of late, I've been seeing her like out and about. You know what I'm saying? I've always heard about her. She's always been in office. You know what I mean?
She's definitely active.
But now, as of lately, it's like y'all team is really that outreach. Y'all rocking and rolling, man.
We rocking and rolling.
You know what I mean? Y'all outside, man.
That's what we tell each other. We winning.
Yeah, and that's what the people want to see, man. The people want to see you outside. They want to see you. They want to be able to touch you.
Yeah.
They want to be able to talk to you. They want to be able to cry with you, laugh with you. You know what I mean? To show that
and
y'all
curse
real,
you out.
And curse you
out.
Right?
Yeah,
and that's a part of the process.
Yeah,
too.
that's a part of the process.
She got to know that.
Yeah, she know that.
And and they just want to. They want to. You know what I'm saying?
I think like me getting into this joint, like before that, I ain't care about politics at all. Like it was no importance to it, whatever. But being in that space for the last year, I see the importance of it. Like just her, like for instance, like whatever people had, whatever, she did, not saying me, but she did trust a person that did 16 years in prison to be in that space. Right. And it's not a controlled space for me. It's not like, you can't go here. It's like, go.
Do you? Right?
Yeah, do you? You know what I mean? Represent this office and trust of that, like being in these spaces. So I say that to say that, like, it ain't no offices like that in our office.
Taking that chance like that.
You feel what I'm saying? Like they ain't doing it. But and also like I done seen her like fight for like Wingahocken Park right there. You know that joint when we come. That joint about to be a fitness. Yeah. That joint about to be a fitness park.
Right.
Like, and I seen her fight and take bread and fight for bread that was going to neighborhoods that can harm her.
Yeah.
Because the upper echelon neighborhoods in her district, they got a better vote turnout than us. Mm-hmm. But I see her still allocate funds and allocate energy to us.
Stanton Park.
Mm-hmm. That was her.
Yeah.
Like the food giveaway. That's the food giveaway in Panatti. They feed 3,000 to 6,000 people a month.
Right.
And that's a lot of bread that go into that.
Right.
But that's a lot of bread that ain't going to the upper echelon of communities too. That got a better vote turnout.
Right.
So that's gonna show up on election day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's why I be like, damn, you really be wanting people in there that's fighting for you, even if you're not fighting for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because she taking a big risk with that. I think what was going on was the messaging behind it and just the being out and about. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like we creating a wave in that joint. Like, you know, we out this joint. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like falling in love with the joint, man.
That's
like
what's
I like
up.
the drink, man. It's
That's
like,
all that.
and I just but I'm waiting on or preparing for opportunities where we could just do more, like involving more.
Right.
Going to your gym, you know what I mean? Like involving Herbalife and doing runs through this joint. Like I see all type of stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we gotta like fight for each other at the end of the day. Cause
For sure.
it get deep. Like we see what's going on in our city.
And a lot of us we're not like educated.
Yeah.
So we don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
A lot of us want change. We want to make a difference in our community. But a lot of us don't know where to begin.
Yeah. And we just used to pointing the finger at other people.
That too.
You know what I mean?
That too.
But I would say the main thing we gotta do is, you know, organizational structure, paperwork.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same thing. Like the difference between working out in the park and working out in the gym is the LLC.
Yeah,
Like we gotta organize.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of like a lot of like, for instance, a lot of our recs, they underfunded. They got what they call like advisory councils, but they depend on the city for every dollar they get. But if they was to change to a 501c3, it's too much grant money out here for you to ever not have a program.
That's what Belfield right now. Belfield,
they the model.
They getting paper.
Yeah, she the model. Elections and them, they the
right,
model.
Right.
You know what I mean? They the model. That's what every rec center, especially ours, need to operate the way that Belfield operate.
Right.
They got a 501c3. They don't need the city.
And just think, they wanted to close that spot down.
Yeah.
It just was a matter of getting somebody in the community in that spot.
Yeah.
They wanted LaSalle wanted to own that. You know what I mean? And then all the violence that was going on around there. So they was pushing to shut that joint down. They were really trying to pull the wool over the people's eyes. They was trying to act like the violence was stemming from that playground.
Right.
But the violence wasn't stemming from that playground. But if you can deceive the people,
you
know
already
what I mean?
know.
Right, you can get it how you know what I'm saying?
That's what they do
So
with
that's
us,
what they was
yeah.
trying to do. They was trying to deceive the people and really and LaSalle was
Imagine
trying
if
to
LaSalle,
buy that buy that playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it wouldn't even been the neighborhood no more.
They would have took that, it would have been over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been over. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Well, we under attack, man. We don't know.
Yeah, that real estate. They want that real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they can put, their perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we
in
gotta
place.
think about it like Philly is like, it's a black city, but before it was a black city, it was the first capital of the country. You know what I mean? It was a powerful city. So it's like, why wouldn't they want that back?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we see all these Jones coming up. I mean, we killing each other. We dying off. Like, just think about how this joint gonna look 40 years from now.
40 years from now, right?
At this rate, cooked.
Right. So when they be talking about,
it's gonna be
you know
cooked
what I mean?
food.
When they be talking about my block,
Right.
like you ain't even you're not your little story that you think you're not even gonna have a
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
a snippet in the
A
book.
snippet in the movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sub. This
Nobody-
what was happening around
right.
this time.
Nobody's
Flood.
gonna remember you.
Yeah.
None of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know how like a lot of these blocks are named after people and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Nobody's gonna remember you.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna remember none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the plague. You don't remember one name that was in the plague.
So
Like,
so let me ask you this though.
Mm-hmm.
What's your you going back to school for anything?
I'm debating. I don't know if I'm debating or bitching, honestly. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, for real, like, I don't know.
Right.
For a part of me want to go back. I can go back. I want to go back for, like, it's two things. If I was to go back for, like, psychology and all that and political science, like, I got to drink, like, all right, by the time I'm 50, inshallah, like, my goal, I move to Africa. Like,
Right.
be like a college professor over there. Second, if I don't go to school, it's like I'm gonna figure out where I fit in this political game,
Right.
Without the whole thing of being a politician, like
Right.
just being able to be like, a voice for us, not a voice for us, but like just a space where we occupy. You know what I mean? Like we should be like a part of the decisions that's being made in the city. You know what I mean? More so than what we are.
Right.
So a lot of times within these spaces, and it's not a knock on anyone, we got black faces that's in powerful positions, and they may feel as if they're representing us. They might wholeheartedly feel that, but we know that they're not.
Ain't right.
Yeah, we like it's impossible for you to represent me because it's like, you know, you might attempt to walk like me and talk like me, but you don't think like me, feel like me. Your facial expressions ain't the same as facial expressions I give. You know what I mean? It's just you're not this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what's going on in the city is now is they're like creating spaces for us to occupy with limits to them. Like the whole like credible messenger or this, that, and the third. And then they put a cap on that space. We don't need no cap on our space.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like you a business owner just like a person on whoever a business owner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't cap me off right here. You know what I mean? And I feel like we need to have that energy inside these spaces that
Sure.
they're making decisions for us.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm saying? Like they're allocating funds, they doing this. Like even if a store pop up on your block, somebody made that decision.
Somebody made that decision.
You know
I
what
can
I'm
see
saying?
you going back to school though. And
Yeah, I think I supposed
you
to.
know, right, I think you're supposed
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But who am I? You know what
Yeah, I
But
think I'm
get
supposed
it.
to. I think I'm just like,
And
Yeah.
and with your jacket, you know, it's gonna help the number too.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
So
I think they'd be good. I think, you know, I think I should. I
Right.
mean, I think I will.
right.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, honestly, like, damn, should I go to the gym today type time? Like, yeah, my leg hurt.
About the time,
yeah,
it's all about the time you're gonna have to put
Right.
in.
Yeah,
Sacrificing
yeah.
that time. That's what you bitching about.
yeah, I'm bitching about it. I ain't gonna
Studying,
fake it.
But 50, by the time you 50, man, you'll have all the credentials. And
Yeah,
that's I like that for you.
Yeah,
You'll have,
me
you know what I
too.
mean? You'll have the prison credentials and you'll have the education credentials.
yeah,
And then so you know that number gonna be like 6 figures.
yeah, it'll be
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Yeah,
And then they you know, they listening now, but they'll really listen to you
Yeah.
because your credentials will be
yeah, you
where
right,
they
man.
supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dr. Wilson always tell me, man, go back to school, go back to school. But I know I need to.
And you know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
you know when it's time to be heard, you know the school piece gonna be the excuse.
Yeah,
When it's
exactly.
time for them to
Yeah,
shut up
yeah,
and
yeah.
listen to you,
Yeah,
the school
the
piece
school
gonna
piece.
be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
And
that's
it's
what
gonna be
they.
somebody backdooring, stealing your ideas.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's
they joint. That's they rep
that's
the
me.
school.
Right.
He put the work in. Yeah,
Right.
the school.
He put the work in.
I'm with you though.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
I'm with
how
you
they
though.
do though.
Cause it ain't the school that's like I'm hesitant about. Like B said, it's pretty much
The
like
time.
The time, you
time.
gotta
Like
put in.
yo,
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, I gotta do something. I don't be doing nothing. You know what I mean? I just be working. But,
Yeah. Let me ask you this though before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Like what you know, talk to me, man. Talk to us. What's
Yeah.
the you know, outside of the school piece, what's the end game? Where you at right now? Like where you
like man, like I said, like from the rip, like I just want to be like the best person. And I fall short on that, like especially like with relationships. Like I was in a marriage, couldn't keep it. You feel me? Tried it twice, couldn't keep it. Same person, you know what I mean? A lot of that fall on me.
right.
Not able to emotionally connect, not caring. You know what I'm saying? Being selfish, wanting what I want when I want it. All that. I'm doing a better job of being like there for my sons. Like that was a process.
Right.
Like getting back with my sons and building that bond. I feel like we getting there. Like it's getting where we supposed to be. You know, I got a 23-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and a 1-year-old grandson, all boys.
Right.
It's getting where it's to be. Financially, of course, we all want that. You want financial stability. And just prioritizing and setting boundaries and I mean doing better of like, you know, sometimes when you're so busy, you're not keeping your word.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I get that.
yeah, it's like, damn, you really let
And you
people
mean
down.
well.
You mean well, but you
know what I
hurting
mean?
people in the
Right.
same time because you gave them your word. And it's like you could use the excuses, I'm busy, but really you just, You know what I mean? You're not really valuing other people's time as much as your time to be valued. So these are the things that I'm working on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said earlier, like I ain't work out in a while. I worked out with Ryan today. Man, I was hit. I mean, I'm looking at, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing in the worst in the world when they could have had the girls in there beating you.
Right.
You like, dang.
Right,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So, but I just know that all that come together, like it's spiritually, mentally, and physically and emotionally, that's all one cake.
Right.
And if you missing some vitamin, you missing some
And the
flavor.
ingredients is going to show.
Yeah, it's
Right.
going to show. Gonna leave it back at the aftertaste in some people's mouth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm doing well, but at the same time, like I know that I could get better in those spaces.
Take your time.
And yeah.
Be patient with yourself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you still just coming home.
Yeah.
Despite you probably been on what 2 or 3 years now.
2.5 years.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
still takes
Yeah,
it's an
yeah,
adjustment. You know what I mean? It's an
Yeah.
adjustment. Like you know.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta wonder though if you like, is that an excuse too? I'll be like, damn, I'm using it as an excuse that I'm just coming home. But I know it's not, because I know how it is. And that joint,
Go with how you feel, man.
yeah.
If you feel like you can do more, do it, man.
Yeah.
If you feel like you just got your foot on it.
You know if you bullshit
off
or
the
not.
gas,
Right.
yeah. You know if you
Yeah.
got your foot off the gas.
Right.
Yeah, I
Put
got
your foot on the gas,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Once you put your foot on the gas,
You gonna feel better.
you're gonna be like, somebody might say, you could do more. But you know
Yeah.
your foot is on the
Yeah.
gas already.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna be somebody that got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even yourself. You're gonna
Yeah.
always, but
Yeah.
just
Blow the trans in that joint.
go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got people that's in the background cheering you on that
Yeah.
that really like I see greatness, you know what I mean? And I'm just waiting for, you know what I mean, each step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just be
Yeah.
like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah. Then it's just too, like, just the fair and the law too. It's just the, like especially now, you know what I mean?
Now,
like
right.
it's like, these things happen and be like, yo, this joint, you could really be going tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Going today.
We just was at a janaza yesterday.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and that hurt. You know what I mean? That's the joint that hurt.
Yeah, that
So
joint
it's
hurt us
like-
all, man. Because that was one of those, he had one of those souls
Yeah,
that impacted everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody he came in contact with.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He
And it's a
impacted
constant reminder of Allah.
it. Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So even within this,
Right.
it was always, yo, what's up?
Right.
I mean, you ain't know when the last time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the reminder for me.
Right.
But other than that, man, I'm just doing my best, man.
Right, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, making sure the gas tank full.
Ain't no judgment overhead. Keep
Yeah.
doing your best, baby.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? For
Yeah.
sure.
Podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, well, we definitely gonna invite you back. You know what I'm saying? We gonna let you get your feet wet for now, though. You know what I'm saying? We gonna cut, you know what I mean? We should have been. I've been meaning to been call you up, say
Yeah.
come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But perfect timing though.
Always.
It was perfect timing, man. Appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate y'all.
I mean, appreciate you sharing your story.